Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, Sabina Chege was nominated as a member of parliament through the Jubilee Party, and that was after Azimio failed to manage to take over power. Then from there, Azimio, in their own wisdom, as a party coalition, decided to appoint Sabina Chege as the deputy minority whip. That means she will be whipping the Azimio side as far as the coalition party position is concerned. That was her role. But then we know what happened. Sabina Chege, on different occasions, she has been defying party position in numerous ways. And she has been unapologetic in her association with the Kenya Kwanza coalition party. With all this, we know that this was now a compromised leader. She cannot speak for the party. If she's whipping, then she's whipping. If you have already compromised yourself and now you are unapologetically associating with the Kenya Kwanza, then how do you whip the Azimio side to stand with the party position and what the leadership of the party is pushing for? So it was untenable to maintain having Sabina Chege in Azimio. So what happened? Opio and I, as the minority leader in the National Assembly, wrote to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Ruto Wetangula, communicating the decision by Azimio to replace Chege as the deputy minority whip. And this decision was opposed by the Jubilee members of parliament allied to Kenya Kwanza and some of the Kenya Kwanza members of parliament. So look at that. Those who are opposing the decision by Azimio, few Jubilee Party who had associated with the William Ruto, and then the Kenya Kwanza side. How does it work? We are whipping the minority, you guys, you are whipping the majority. Hata ilikuwa ya kununua. So how comes the majority side is against the decision by minority to replace their leadership, which is not even touching on their side? So with all that, we could see there was a reason why they are doing so, just to make sure that they are bringing down the opposition side in terms of how they want to operate within the National Assembly, in terms of those policies, bills, when it comes to voting, and many other things, and speaking for their coalition. Now, with all this, we know the Azimio side decided to take this matter even to the court. And the court made their ruling also, which was in line with what Azimio was pushing for. So, yesterday, the National Assembly Speaker made a decision, Ruto Wetangula, to uphold the decision by Azimio members of parliament to strip off the nominated member of parliament, Sabina Chege, her roles as a deputy minority whip. And Sabina Chege has been replaced by, with the Embakasi West member of parliament, Mark Mwenja. That means the position is still within the Jubilee Party, but now it has been given to another person who was still working with the Azimio la Umoja, not in Kenya Kwanza. So right now we have Embakasi West MP, Mark Mwenja. But before this, there is a communication Opio Ondai told Ruto Wetangula, and this is what he said. I just want to quote him. We are giving a notice that if the court orders issued, so let me repeat, we are giving a notice that if the court orders issued on 9th October are not affected by the Speaker for Honorable Mark Mwenja to be the Deputy Minority Whip, then it will not be business as usual. This joke has dragged on for too long, and it must come to an end. But again, above all, we saw the Jubilee Party members holding demonstrations demanding the ouster of Sabina Chege as the National Assembly Minority Whip. Ukiangalia pale nje kulikuwa na members of Jubilee Party. Walikuwa wameandika in their bangles, Papa wa Roma must be stopped. Sabina must go. Sabina must go. So there was a demonstration outside the National Assembly by those supporters of Jubilee Party, those who are registered members of the Jubilee Party, demanding Moses Masika Wetangula to enforce Azimio position to remove Sabina Chege. That happened. Then Wetangula had no other option, and this is what he is saying. That is Wetangula. Currently, there is no bar against the decision made by the minority party to replace its whip. In this regard, Mark Mwenja replaces Sabina Chege as the deputy whip of the minority party. That is Wetangula. So Wetangula has been pushed to a corner, and of course, the leadership of Kenya Kwanza to enforce the Azimio party position to replace Sabina Chege. They had supported Sabina Chege and protected her for long, but this has come to an end. The question is, why so? Why now? Before we continue with this discussion, just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, the reality is that we have the Kenya Kwanza Azimio dialogue going on at Bomas of Kenya. And in that dialogue, among the issues that Azimio was raising was to ensure that Kenya Kwanza is going to stop interference with the other political party issues. And they have to come out with a law that will give more power to the party to discipline their members, but not necessarily giving that mandate to the speaker to make the final decision. According to Azimio, they want the party to have the final say, but not the speaker to make that final decision. So that when they communicate, the speaker has no any other option but to enforce the party position. With all this, Azimio had also threatened to stop continuing in the engagement in that dialogue. So it was either you remove Sabina Chege and stop interfering with the Azimio coalition, or we come to an end of this dialogue. This is one of the reasons why Kenya Kwanza has been pushed to accept that decision to remove Sabina Chege. So Azimio had been determined. We can't continue to have this dialogue when you're still interfering with our political party matters and you talk of having a dialogue. It can never be a dialogue again. So those in Kenya Kwanza should know that Raila and Ruto have made a decision. And the decision is to stop interfering with the Azimio matters. And what Wetangula did it is a directive from William Ruto. That's the truth. Because according to how Wetangula has been operating, it is clear that he's not making his own decision. Wetangula has powers, he can make a decision, but he has refused. Instead, he is depending on communication from William Ruto. If Wetangula was to be one of the best speakers, then he should have borrowed a leaf from the former speaker, Kenneth Marende, and have that Solomonic wisdom of making a decision, being unbiased, and standing in the gap as the second arm of government. He failed. So what we are seeing here is a communication from William Ruto after Azimio making that threat to withdraw from the dialogue. Then we have those demonstrations from Kenya, from the Jubilee Party, who are refusing Sabina Chege, and of course the court decision. With all this, there was no any other position. So Sabina Chege is out. She has been there for too long. She has been making drama, the kind of jokes, so much compromise, one of the worst leaders you can have. And this is a plus for Azimio la Umoja. To have people who are not compromised, people who will take the party position, speak for the party, and defend the people.